Hello YouTube, how you doing? I picked up a couple of new spare batteries for my cordless phone because I was having an initial issue. It was a weird little issue that my battery would suddenly go flat as soon as I picked up the receiver. Now I couldn't work out what the hell was going on, so I figured I've ordered two batteries, and I figured, well, how the hell not? And then this battery seemed to work for a few more days. It seemed to actually work and it seemed to actually function. So I'm going to say that battery's fucked because I'm actually got a better charge on this now than I did on previously, and obviously I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe there's a circuit loose, or maybe this is just, I think this battery's just had it because it's that old. I got two of them. The original ones weren't actually they weren't factory ones. They weren't Uniden ones. They were actually just rebrand, or what do you call it, so the cheaper brand ones. But still, they do the same job. So I bought replacement batteries, which there's a replacement battery in this one now. And this one here is just the dead one, or I'm going to assume is dead because I'm not going to put it back in. I'm not going to see the point of putting it back in anyway. I think that's the same 800. And what's this one? See, this is 650. This is 800. This is a higher milliamp actually, so it's actually a better battery in retrospect, because the original manufacturer one. Focus. Come on, focus, you bitch. I'm going to have to turn the autofocus off, it seems. I have to turn it back on, I guess. Let's have a look. Okay. Focus. So, as you can see, I don't know when you can actually see that, but as you can see, the original manufacturer's... Shit. Really? You. Fine if you want to be a tainted little bitch who doesn't do what she's told. Zoom in. There we go. The original manufacturer's one was only 650 milliamp. It's still 2.4 volts, but it's actually a lower milliampage. So, this is the new one, which is actually 800, 2.4 volts. So, yeah. Which I've already put one. I got two of them. So the two of them were only a couple of bucks anyway, like $4 or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, they're cheap. I'm just gonna go to the resident. So it's working now anyway. But I had some issues, and as I said, and from what I could tell, this other battery was having some issues, and it was obviously causing issues when I was trying to answer the phone at certain times. And I couldn't fucking work it out at first. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Turn the autofocus back on and go back. But yeah, that's the old battery, which I'm going to chuck. To be honest, I'm just going to chuck it now, so I don't forget about it. I'm chucking it in my bin. And I'll probably end up chucking in recycling or something. I don't know. I'll dispose of it somehow. But anyway, for the time being, I'll sort through the recycling later. So yeah, that's sort of something I wanted to go into, because I'd assumed that the battery that I had was not flat and it had no issues, but apparently it still does. So because it did the same thing tonight when after I'd had it on the charger and everything else and stuff like that, it did the exact same thing. So I'm going to say that battery's dead, pretty much. Aside from that, I picked up that. What else did I pick up? I picked up these, which this is my new headset that I'm going to be using for, which is a Samson headset. It's not a bad little headset, to be honest. I was quite happy with it. I should have done an unboxing of it, to be honest, but, you know, I just couldn't be fucked at the time, and I think it was just more... I didn't see the points. I sort of saw the point, but I think I made a video and the camera actually fucked up and I lost the video. So this is these are Sony pair of headphones, which they're quite nice, to be honest. They look nice, they feel nice to your ears too. They're not too sweaty, and they have a pretty good sound quality and sound reproduction, to be truthful. I've been sitting here listening to them on and off, and I actually listened to a movie through these, which they came out quite well. The only annoying part that I found with them, and ow, I hurt my freaking self a few times before. The cord's too short, which I didn't like. So what I actually did is I ended up getting an extension cable an extension cable for them at this point to extend upon what was already there. So that's pretty much, I'm waiting for the extension cable to come in the mail. I'm not doing too bad. I've got everything that I had. Well, I picked up the headphones, as I said. I got these headphones, which are nice. I do like them. They're Sony quality, so you know they're pretty nice anyway. They're pretty good for even music and stuff like that, for that matter. What else? That's what I wanted. The wrong fucking button. So, pretty much, what was it, eBay stuff? Hold on, let me have a look. eBay. There we go. So, eBay. Some ones anyway. Okay. I've got some stuff that I've got in mind that I'm going to be getting. I don't know whether I need a power supply at this point because some of the issues that I was having with my computer I think might have been sort of internet related, but I don't know at this point. I'm thinking there's a couple of blue screens and other issues I've been having randomly when I mean, to be honest, I've been able to play games and been able to do other stuff, so it's sort of made me contemplate. I'm thinking about getting this power supply, which is a 1500 watt Silverstone, comparison to my current power supply, which is a 1200 watt. You ask why I need so much power? Well, I got a hell of a shitload of stuff in my computer, and AMD always requires a hell of a lot of power. I got two 770s in SLI. I've got like 6-7 hard drives, 2 optical drives. I've basically got 2 optical drives, like almost 7 hard drives. I'm probably about 6 hard drives in total. Water cooling, 32 gigs of RAM, basically a 9550, which is the maximum processor you can go for AMD at the moment, and a bunch of fucking fans, a sound card from, from Creative, which is one of the higher bit rate ones, to sort of just better quality sounds. What else? Shit ton of USB stuff that I plug into the back. 2 screens, because it's got to be able to drive the 2 screens and power everything else and all the other stuff. As I said, a fuckload of fans too. There's a lighting scheme on my case as well, and there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there is a ton of stuff in my computer, and there's a lot of stuff that runs inside my computer, so I do need something with hefty power. So anyway, the 1500 watt was something I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about getting that, maybe. It depends on how I'm feeling and depends on my budget. Firstly, I could go for this bronze braided one, which is a 1200 watt, just to replace and sort of, make my power supply a bit better, but I'm sort of contemplating it. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to work out whether probably be better if I did go more for the 1000 for the 1500 watt, just because of how much power my system does require at times. I was looking at a 27-inch Acer G-Sync 144 Hz monitor, but I don't really like the price at this point. Maybe in the future. It's not an essential item, so it's not really a luxury. It's more of a luxury item than anything else. So it's only if I really, really want to get it later on. I've got a Korean panel at the moment, which works pretty well, and I haven't had any major issues with it. It works pretty well for both my Xbox and both my computer, and I get a pretty good frame rate in most cases. On the other side, I got a Samsung Smart TV combo screen there, which works pretty great as well. So I mean, that's my point. These are the 2 big screens I've got, which is they're both 27-inch. So as I said, they work pretty well, and I don't have any major issues with them. So at this point, I'm contemplating whether I need a power supply. If I do need a power supply, as I said, I'm going to run a few more tests. As I said, it could have been software related. Could have been internet/software related to some of the problems I might have been having. I know I set my motherboard to the correct settings, and now everything seems a lot more stable, and everything just seems to be running a lot more smoother. As I said, we'll see how it goes, and I'll see if these random blue screens and things that keep on happening do keep popping up. As I said, they're just random because they don't happen all the time. Sometimes I can go months, weeks, even, you know, yonks before there's any really weird ass issues, like it actually keeling over and dying and just, you know, turning off, or having random ass stuff that happened. But there was a weird thing today that my screen turned off, the input turned off. Now, you'd think it was a video card. I don't think so, because the symptoms that I looked up online describe it as being a power supply issue, or most likely related to a power supply issue. So I'm going to put it down to being a power supply issue, honestly. Some of the symptoms that I found online, and particularly the symptoms that point to a power supply issue, is normally related to that. So at this point, I'm going to see how I go, see which direction things go, and I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to see if this power supply is okay, or whether it's just having a little spark, you know, not a little spark, but a few little issues here and there. Maybe it's just balancing the load or something. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll do a bit more rendering and stuff, because that's most of the time when it has crashed, when I've been doing rendering and high-end stuff to sort of, you know, be able to do a lot of the different stuff that I do on the computer, especially when it comes to my YouTube rendering and things like that, and videos that I fix up. So at the end of it, even my streaming for that matter, because streaming can add stress to the system too, I've had it crash in between streaming. Now I want to see whether it was software related. I fixed up some of the software on it, and, you know, at this point in time, I'm thinking, well, okay, I'll just let it go and just see which direction it goes in. I'm not going to automatically assume it's a power supply. I'm going to test it a little more and just, you know, make sure that it totally is before I end up being on a power supply. Or I could just go for a cheap power supply to sort of save myself a bit of money, and that's not too bad. A really rated power supply. It's not too bad for bronze rated. It's not modular, but I mean, it still work for what I have anyway. And maybe what I might do is maybe buy that as a backup power supply, and maybe get that as a main power supply or something, you know, just in case. At this point, it all comes down to what is within my budget limits. If I can afford to get the more expensive power supply, I will obviously go for the more expensive one, which, to be honest, I've never had any. My current power supply is a Silverstone, so it's still going pretty strong. It's pretty reasonable at the moment, so I'm not going to discount Silverstone, because I like Silverstone as a company, and just with their warranties and things like that, and not just that, but, you know, generally speaking, they're not a bad company overall. On the other hand, this bronze rated power supply is like one of those cheaper sort of Chinese Powerman brands or whatever it is. And I mean, okay, it does have like a 2-year warranty or something, or 1-year warranty, or I think it was like 2 years warranty or something. But I mean, I know for a fact that Silverstone has a more established warranty in most cases. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, YouTube. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. And of course, stay tuned. I've got more videos coming up. I don't know. It's going to be a combination. I've got a ton of videos to edit, to be honest. And I just it's not that I couldn't be fucked. I sort of want to get into the editing mode, as it were. You know, just get the right frame. But I wanted to do a fair few videos, so I had a few to edit, basically. Anyway, thank you very much, and catch you. As usual, I hope you enjoy my videos. There's always PayPal donation links and stuff, and also support my channel as well. Alright, thank you very much, and catch you. Bye.